Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Tom and Elliot in your house, but not literally. We are just on your audio waves, not behind you or anything.
Or are we? Just look behind you. That's a lovely jumper you're wearing.
Tom and Elliot in your house. Tom and Elliot in your house. Tom and Elliot in your house.
It was a really poor joke to start, but we're in. Today, we're gonna. What are we talking about today? We're doing some elevator pitches.
Yeah.
We've taken some time out of our busy lockdown schedules to think of the most outrageous and bogus, I think is probably the good word to describe.
Bogus? I've had some genius ideas, Tom. Don't call these bogus.
Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah, look, let's launch right into it. Yeah, exactly like you said. We've just been thinking a little bit. Got nothing else to do but think about films that we could make if we were in Hollywood, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. They definitely have potential.
If the stars had aligned differently, if we'd been born billionaires, these films would be being made right now. And just know the travesty that they aren't being made right now. First up, I want to combine two of the biggest film franchises in history. Okay?
Okay.
Because for our first film that we make, we want to make a load of money. Okay, because that's going to that's going to fund our more indie ones. So I've got two.
You want like a Clash of the Titans sort
Absolutely.
of thing. Just appeal to everyone and
something
everyone.
that's going to break box office records.
Yeah.
So, on one corner, we have the Fast and the Furious. Okay? There's something like 10 Fast and Furious films now. They all gross like $1 million each. Okay? It's easily going to get us money. But we've got to put our own fresh spin on it, okay? Because people don't just want to see another bold white man just driving a car, right?
Yeah, there's only so many enemies Vin Diesel can make.
Absolutely.
And how many times he can make up with his family until they finally realise that he's probably not the right man for them to be looked after.
What happens if La Familia turns on Dom Toretto? So, instead of...
Maybe that's where the 30th film is going to
go.
It's what it's finally going to address.
Just as a quick one, he has said that he's not opposed to making a Fast and Furious in space. Which, again...
You know, if you can be Fast and Furious, there's going to be in a certain space... Yeah. Let me try and rephrase that. If you can be somewhere... Let me try that again. If you can be Fast and Furious somewhere, then there's going to be a Fast and Furious film about it.
Absolutely. Anyway, you can be Fast and Furious... Vin Diesel's there.
Should we make a spin-off series called Furious and Fast, and it's just in the most inappropriate places, like we're in a playground?
So, instead of another bold, angry white man, okay, I propose we put into this film a bold, angry green man. That's right. Fast and Furious meets Shrek. Fast and Furious 11, The Shrekoning. Okay?
Oh my god.
Yeah?
I don't really know what to say.
So, let me pitch it to you then, okay?
Yeah, explain it.
Because these two franchises fit together perfectly, because there's the Fast and Furious, okay? The core parts of it is hench bold men, La Familia, okay? There's nothing...
Is that bold or...
Bold,
like hair.
Both, to be fair. They're quite bold, and they have no hair. And cars, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So cars, La Familia, and bold people. And Shrek, okay, the entire Shrek 4 films are all about Shrek coming to terms with his family, right? In the first one, he meets his wife. In the second one, he meets his in-laws. Third one, he meets his nephew. Fourth one, he has his kids. Okay, and it's all about him coming to terms with turning from an ogre into a family man. So, he has the La Familia aspect. He's bold, okay?
Yeah.
But he's not got any cars. He's just an angry ogre man. So, I propose...
how are you going to fit cars into it?
Yeah, that's a fair question. So,
an ogre or a donkey... I mean, Fiona might have some legitimate experience or ability to learn how to drive a car because she had the human aspect.
So, it's going to be similar to the fourth film, okay? In that Shrek is going to be fed up with something going on in his life, and he just wants to get away from it all, okay? But in doing so, he makes a deal with a witch who sends him into reality with the Fast and Furious people, okay? And he's like, oh my God, he's like, oh my god, what's going on? I don't understand any of this. What's a car? What are those round things like wheel? What's a wheel? Okay, so that's what he's like, and he realizes immediately he's made a mistake.
Was that Vin Diesel?
That was Shrek.
That was Shrek. Okay, I'm on board now.
I don't actually know what Vin Diesel sounds like. He just kind of talks like La Familia. No, that's more like a...
That sounded more like Shrek than the Shrek impression you just did.
Hey, I'm Dom Toretto. Like that.
It's like an Elvis meets Al Pacino.
That's it. That's absolutely it. It's Elvis meets Al Pacino. And so Shrek lands in this world, and immediately he sees Vin Diesel, and he's like, "Oh, hey, that's a bold, big bold man. I recognize that, so I'm gonna go talk to him." So he goes over and talks to Vin Diesel, and Vin Diesel's like, "Oh wow, that's such a big green man. Why are you so big and green?" Yeah, that was more Donald Trump.
Why would he even ask that question? If you saw a live ogre with a little oak waistcoat on, why would you say, "Oh, why are you so big and green?" Again, that wasn't Vin Diesel. But
we need to work on our accents, man.
You've come to reality in Scotland.
So Vin Diesel's then like, or Shrek explains his situation, and Vin Diesel's like, "Okay, I'm giving up on the accent." And Vin Diesel's like, "Okay, I'm going to help you get back to your reality. The only way that I know to travel across dimensions is by going 88 miles an hour." Sneaky third film.
Only 88.
Sneaky third film tie-in, Back to the Future.
Oh,
you got it. There you go.
Yes, there we go. I was thinking, why 88 miles an hour? Surely that's a little bit low to transcend a whole dimension.
That's the speed that they have to travel. So anyway, then Vin Diesel takes Shrek to see Doc Brown.
In a DeLorean? Or
No, just in his
car. Do they have their own DeLorean or just in his car?
So he goes to Doc Brown, who then says, "Hey Shrek, I built you a DeLorean that'll take you home." Okay, like, have you seen Fast and Furious? You look very confused.
I know the concept. I've never seen it. I've seen half of the second one.
Really? They're great films.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're pretty good.
But anyway, that's what the scientist guy sounds like. So he gives them a car, and then Shrek has to learn how to drive this car. And I don't know. In the meantime, some bad guy's trying to steal some drugs or whatever. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Whatever they do.
So, yeah, there's some other.
There's a mean car or something. Yeah. There's another bald man getting mad at them.
Okay.
And then he finds the speed, and he gets back to his family, and Shrek's like, I missed you guys. I wish I'd never left in the first place. But I did learn to live my life a quarter mile at a time. So that's and then that ties in, and then he looks at the camera and he winks, and that's the end of the film.
Okay.
So what do you think?
I think there's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah.
For some. Yeah, I think it's just a lot of opportunity and not much practical filmmaking.
Look, I can tie down the specifics later, but all I'm asking for now is about $500 million. No.
Oh, okay.
$100 million, I think.
100. Are you sure? Because that's going to be a lot of CGI.
Yeah. Okay.
To transfer in.
We'll call it $200 million then.
200 million.
Do you not think I could do it for $200 million?
I mean, I'm no film expert.
Okay.
But, you know, I'm going to say yes. Here's $200 million.
That's amazing. That was definitely. How
do I transfer it to you?
I'll just give you my bank details. So my sort code is 01234.
Okay.
Budget versus gross. Oh, okay. So I mean, most Fast and Furious films don't have a budget of more than 200 million.
Okay.
So that should be okay.
What about Shrek? Look up the budget for Shrek.
Oh, Shrek surely has a much smaller budget than that.
Yeah. It's only Shrek.
Shrek budget is 60 million.
So we've got to go at least 260 million.
You're right. 260 million is what I'm after.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's fair enough.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a pitch for me, or do you want me to go into my second one?
I do. I have a pitch for you. Okay, so my pitch is, again, we're launching into a big franchise, but more of an English one.
Yeah.
It's James Bond. It's going to be James Bond. Big fan of the James Bond films. Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery. Can't remember the name of the current one. Daniel Craig.
That song by Scouting for Girls.
Yeah, him. Billie Eilish as well. Big fans of all these people. Yeah. So, I feel an area of the story that I feel like is not covered is James Bond's childhood.
Right.
Because obviously, I can't remember if he was an orphan or if his parents died.
His parents died when he was like 12 or something.
Okay, so he's young.
Yeah.
So there's definitely... Oh, this could get quite dark, couldn't it? Okay, I'm gonna say we're gonna do the James Bond story from 6 to 8.
Okay.
Let's go with that. Okay, so let's say he's not very popular in school. Everyone bullies him. They call him, I don't know,
Pooh-face.
Bond or Pooh-face, maths man, because bonds are in maths.
Yeah.
So everyone's like,
some of those
maths.
really, really hurtful things.
Oh yeah. That stuff you don't really recover from. Sorry. So he's bullied at school, and he's not really getting along, and his parents are like, "Oh, it'll be fine, James. You're just we'll look after you, and it'll be fine." But the bullies keep on coming at him, and his parents aren't really helping now. They're just saying, "You'll be fine. Just deal with it." But James is like, "Okay, I'm going to take matters into my own hands." So he learns kung fu, and this is when my next tie comes in, and he meets Jaden Smith.
Oh.
Yeah. And then, okay, that's the 6 to 8 part.
Right.
Okay, I have to say the first part of the film is 6 to 8 years old.
Right.
He meets Jaden Smith when they're young. I don't know how they met each other because obviously Jaden Smith's American.
Yeah.
And
so obviously you're referencing here Jaden Smith from Kung Fu Kid or whatever that film.
Yeah, Karate
Kid.
Yeah. So they somehow meet. Maybe Jaden Smith has done like an exchange student or something, exchange trip, and he's in the UK for educational purposes. And Jaden gives Daniel Craig this moral support, and he's like, "I can teach you kung fu."
Right.
But obviously Jaden Smith is very wise at this point because he's been learning kung fu for the first 6 years of his life. So he's like, "Okay, just wait, just hold on 10 years, and then we'll go on a gap year together, and we can learn kung fu in China with this dang teacher
Mr. Miyagi,
who knows all." Yeah. So 10 years goes by. James Bond's parents die, and he's lost all hope in the world, and but he's keeping faith in Jaden Smith.
Right.
And then the fact that he's going to go to China and learn kung fu to finally get back at these bullies.
Right.
Which obviously he's moved on from now because he's at a different school, and that's his whole storyline. We don't need to get into, but we're going to go.
Maybe the sequel.
Yeah, maybe the sequel. So they go on their year abroad trip. Not year abroad.
Gap year.
That's not the right word. Gap year. And they go to China and learn kung fu. And James Bond ends up defeating the Han from Mulan.
Okay.
So here's our third tie-in with the Disney.
Right, I see.
Yeah. So the Han invade China, and
when exactly do you think James Bond was a kid?
I realise now that timelines may be confused here, but we can make this work.
Because I do want you to know that there is an
exactly
actual answer for when James Bond was a kid.
Probably like 1960s. Probably before that.
Yeah, it was a
50s,
bit before
40s.
that. And when do you think the Huns invaded China?
Oh, like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Probably not even the thousands.
I think it was
AD.
like the, I don't know, 1500s, something like that. I'm not good with history, but
we can make this work.
Okay.
It doesn't exactly have to be the Hans from Mulan, but an equivalent.
Okay.
So an evil force, led by an iconic bad guy, invades China, and Daniel Craig and Jaden Smith basically fight them off just by themselves. And MI6 back in England see this, and they're like, "Okay, Jaden Smith, we can't really take you because you're American. It's a little bit of discrimination there, but
yeah,
it's MI6, so it's sort of allowed.
Yeah, because no one actually finds out about it because it's secret.
Yeah, it's all secret. But then, so MI6 sees that James Bond has fought off an entire army, and is like, okay, we want to hire you for 007 status, and that's how he gets into his days of espionage.
Right. Okay.
So it ties up the whole series, basically.
Very neatly, might I add.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just one question.
Yeah.
Were you making that up as you went along?
No.
Okay, yeah,
I had
didn't
most of
think
it in
you were.
mind.
Like it sounded very planned out.
Thank you. I will admit I didn't think about the Hans bit. The Hans.
Right. Okay.
Like I completely forgot they were in like the 12th century, and James Bond is in the 21st century, 20th century, whatever. And then Jaden Smith was obviously a bit before and a bit younger. But it's a perfect world where you unite Jaden Smith, Jackie Chan. It was Jackie Chan who played.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi.
In the modern one, yeah. Jackie Chan, Jaden Smith, Daniel Craig, obviously Dame Judi Dench.
Yes.
Because she'll come in for like the final scene. That's going to be like our pin drop ending scene.
Right.
Like Daniel Craig as a gap year student with like a tank top and long blonde hair and curls and all that, gets a call from Dame Judi Dench, who's like sitting in her office above the Thames in MI6.
Yeah.
And it's like, Daniel.
That's not how she sounds.
Well, I don't really know how to do an impression of Dame Judi Dench without sounding offensive.
No, there's the tip to impressions is don't think too hard about who you're trying to do.
Okay. So Daniel Craig on a beach somewhere in Bali gets a phone call and it's like, Daniel, you fought off the entire army in China.
That doesn't sound like a lady at all.
Well, I'm just going to go with it because I don't want to embarrass myself on our second podcast. And she just goes, okay, Daniel, we saw you fought off the entire army in China with Jaden Smith. We want to promote you to instant 007 status. And then Jaden Smith goes like, yo, but MI6, I also fought off the entire army with Daniel Craig. Can I also be 007? And then Dame Judi Dench comes back and is like, no, you're American. And that's how the film ends.
And that's it?
And then Dame Judi Dench does like a wink to camera or like a final dance number. And that's how the film ends.
Ah, that's quite good.
I'll have to work out a way. Obviously, I'll get into the specifics of the timeline and what year this all is.
Yeah, but
maybe I'll put it in a future Elon Musk world where everyone's in a simulation.
That can be fixed in post.
Oh yeah. No, that's fine. We'll just edit it out. 100%.
Okay, and how much money do you want for this film?
This is going to be a difficult one because locations are going to be an issue because we've got to tie in British, Chinese and American culture.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a lot of locations, a lot of travelling. So I'm going to ask for I'm going to say similar to yours, 250 million.
Ooh. Now look, prequels are good.
Yeah.
Famously, prequels have never gone wrong for anyone.
No. They can't go wrong. That's
part of the value of it. So.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say go on, have your 250 million.
That is the greatest news I could have heard.
That's all right, man.
Thank you.
That's all right. You're welcome. You will not be let down by this. I hope not, because your head will be on the line if I am.
Yeah, I can put my name on it and take off the responsibility. Yeah. But I know this is going to be a success. This is weird because this is probably how most Hollywood pitches work.
Oh,
like the words we've just said. Like, I'll put my name on it. This is going to be a success, I promise. How many times do you reckon that's been said?
For at least 12.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've
probably isn't actually that common.
I've got one more.
Okay.
Got one more pitch for you, and this one, this one's a real doozy. Okay.
All right.
I'm pretty proud of this one.
Yeah.
Where's Wally, the musical?
Is this a film or on stage?
It's a film. It's a film. But maybe there can be a stage spin-off, you know, like Shrek the Musical. Made him a lot of money.
Yeah, that's even more income.
So, really, the title speaks for itself. It's a musical about the titular Wally, okay?
Yeah.
And it's all about his life, really. So he's gotten quite famous for his books. Where's Wally? I don't know if you've read them.
Yeah, no, I have.
And
good series.
And so he spends his days now basically running around the place, and he holds these big events where people try and find him. Okay, it's like a big hide and seek.
Oh yeah, okay.
And so the opening number, it starts, and you have the main characters. You've got Wally. You've got, I think her name's Wanda, who's his girlfriend. Yeah. You've got the wizard, who's called the Wizard, and you've got his dog, who I think is called Spot.
Okay.
And then you've got Oswald, or Oswald, something like that. What, Oswald?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, go Oswald. Nice. Anyway.
Who's his like arch nemesis, and he's the guy who's in black and yellow. So, opening number starts. You've got Wally running around, big crowd, and then you've got Wanda and the wizard and the dog being like, haha, where's Wally? And it's something catchy, and everyone's singing along as everyone's looking for Wally.
Yeah.
Okay? And he's changing disguises, and he's having fun, and he's dipping and diving between. Might be able to fit in a little bit of parkour, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll put in some budget for stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. At least 50 grand. And then, end of the number, everyone has a big laugh, and then they all go home. Okay, and they're at home. Wanda is the wizard's just cooked a big meal. We're swapping up gender roles. Okay, Wanda's not doing the cooking anymore, and
that's good.
He's just cooked a big meal, and they're all having an eat and a laugh. But Wally's not feeling too great. He looks a bit down. No one can really work out what's wrong. He seems a bit nervous, a bit jittery.
Yeah.
Anyway, what Wanda's like, oh honey, you okay? Like, how are you? What's his name? Wally. And Wally's like, yeah, I'm fine. I just feel a bit down. And then Wanda's like, oh well, I love you. And he's like, okay. And he just walks off. And he goes to bed. And by the time Wanda's in bed, he's already asleep.
Yeah.
So next day, Wanda wakes up and Wally is missing. Okay. She freaks out. She's like, what's going on? He's not meant to be missing today. We've got a big event that he's got to be at later. And immediately the wizard is like, oh shit, Wanda, because this is an R-rated movie.
Oh yeah, of course, could be some swearing.
Kicks down the door and goes, oh shit, Wanda, I think Wally's been taken. And Wanda's like, oh shit, wizard, that's what's up. And so she's like, Spot, let's go. We're gonna go find Wally. Meanwhile, Wally has actually decided to go on a spiritual journey. So he's not...
Okay.
Actually, no. Forget that I said that.
Okay,
so
I forgot it.
Then we follow them over the next couple of songs as they're going through different locations trying to find Wally. And it seems like Oswald has left a bunch of clues as to where Wally is. And they're following this. And Oswald's like, haha, I've got Wally. And just as they think they're about to catch Wally, it cuts to Wally, and he's nowhere near there. Oswald has set up this whole trap just to capture them. So he then captures the wizard and Wanda and Spot, and then we cut to Wally.
So Oswald doesn't actually have Wally?
No, he's just playing with them.
Wow.
So then we go to Wally, and Wally's going on this big spiritual journey because he doesn't know who his identity is anymore because all of this fame has got him confused. He starts off with this big emotional number called How's Wally? Okay?
Because everybody's asking, where's Wally? But no one's asking, how's Wally?
There you go. You got it.
I get it. I'm on board. I'm on board.
It's going to be a beautiful number. Okay, think it's something like Memories from Cats, like the memories all alone in the... So something like that. It's like,
or Crossroads
everybody
from Big Mouse Trucks Again.
Where's Wally? But nobody asks, how's Wally? Something like that, right?
Okay.
And then he starts finding himself, and then he discovers that Oswald's got his friends. He goes, he fights Oswald, and he realises that everything's fine in the end anyway. The end, boom, billion.
That's actually quite a good idea.
Right?
I have a short suggestion for it.
Okay. I'm
Completely
open to
changes the
criticism.
whole second half of the play.
Okay.
But I'm gonna throw this in there. Oswald does actually capture Wally,
Okay.
and then Wally falls in love with Oswald because Oswald actually
Oh.
looks after. I mean, even though Wally's in captivity and Oswald is actually treating him like a prisoner, Wally feels looked after, and Oswald actually asks, "Okay, are you okay? I'm not being too harsh to you in prison, am I? I know I'm an evil character, but I want to respect your
maybe
feelings
Oswald
as well."
realizes that he's been living a bad life and he actually cares about Wally.
Exactly.
And because they're enemies, opposites attract, right?
Yeah.
It's the perfect enemies to lovers story. And actually, the reason he's so confused with his identity, he doesn't realise, but he's actually bisexual.
Yeah.
Boom.
This is just tied up so perfectly
Boom.
well.
So,
And yeah,
no, you go.
I didn't actually have anything to add there. I was just making a noise.
Okay, so I'm asking you for.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to cost that much. I'm going to say 90 million.
You know what? That's nothing to me.
Yeah.
Have it. I was always going to say it's the memory solo can now become a duet. We can start off a solo and then Oswald comes flying in on like a trapeze or something.
Being like, I care about how's Wally, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe
Like,
even...
I know he's my prisoner of war, but I actually care about him.
Maybe he's even, like, just as an offhanded comment, how are you doing today, Wally? And Wally's like,
He just bursts into tears.
Yeah, and then this song starts.
And then Oswald's like, "What's up, Wally?" And then, he goes like, nothing. So that gets Oswald off stage. And then they start the solo. And then Oswald comes flying back in the trapeze with extra food and rations.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I think we've just made our buck, you know? We've made our
we have.
nut, I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, we've got to copyright this.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Sorry, all of
We've copyrighted
this
it.
podcast is trademarked and you can't steal our ideas. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bosh.
That's it.
I think that was a fairly productive podcast, actually. I think that was fairly productive.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
We've sorted our features
Yep.
as either listeners to pitches or pitch givers.
We've come up with 3 great pitches.
Yeah.
We had Fast and Furious, The Shrekoning.
Yeah. We had I didn't really think of a title for mine, but the the Daniel Craig
Karate
James
Kid
Smith.
movie.
Yes.
And then we had
James Kid.
Where's Wally?
Bond Kid.
Where's Wally the musical?
Yeah.
Bosh. Well,
What more could you want?
on that note, I've been Elliot.
I've been Tom.
We've been in your house, but not literally.
Thanks for listening. If you want to see what else we're up to, check us out on Instagram at Jesting Dog Productions.